So what are the popular data science and machine learning concepts? Again, I will not get into too much theory. I'll give a quick glimpse. Social media analytics. This is a big area where data science is being used because a lot of people post their, any organization would like to have consumer insights. Uh, like what are my consumers speaking? I know my sales, but what is going on in the consumer mind? And earlier it was very hard to do, but now that all Twitter, Facebook, blogs, uh, organizations are able to get consumer insights by mining social media. So analysis of Twitter, Facebook, blogs, web scraping, all these is getting very popular. So social media analytics is it's a topic by itself. Doing sentiment analytics. If I'm going to launch, if iPhone 8 is launched, what's the sentiment of my consumers? What are people speaking about it? Are there any feature issues? Are there issues in services? So people do a lot of social media analytics. Web scraping, as I told, people post a lot of things in blog. There are websites which keeps updating things like Sensex in India, any stock market, they keep publishing things in their website, and there are organizations who scrape these websites and then track the trends of different stock markets. Web scraping. Regression, very popular, many of you would have heard. How do I establish relationship between variables and use it for predictive analytics? Let's take a simple example. If I know weight and height of some 100 people, so every person is a point here, weight in x-axis and height in y-axis. If I know the general relationship between weight and height, can I fit a model? So this line is a model and it's an output of a regression model. It is trained using what is called as a partial least square algorithm. Having built this model, then for person with any height, I can predict what is going to be the weight. Or if I know the weight, I can predict the height. I can build a relationship between height and weight, build a regression model, and predict for any new combination. Another practical application, uh, my advertisement spent in x-axis and my sales in y-axis. For different occasions, I have spent so much on advertisement and so much is the sales generated. If I know the historical relationship, I can fit a model. And in future, if I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to spend $1 million next year for my advertisement spend, how much sales can I expect out of it? From this model, I can do a prediction saying, okay, if you're going to spend $1 million, you are going to expect so many millions of dollars in return through sales with a range of plus or minus so much deviation. So you can do such predictions using regression analysis. Classification. So as I told, we know how to differentiate between apples and oranges because we have been learnt in the past. We have been taught in the past and we have learnt. Similarly, can I teach a machine not necessarily between apples and oranges, but between a good credit risk and a bad credit risk, between uh, uh, between a spam email versus a good email. So Google is able to classify your emails into different buckets automatically: promotions, social media, spam, junk, primary, and this is a classification task. How do I classify any data into different buckets? So this is classification. And clustering, as I told you, Uber example, how do I segment my customer base into different groups so that I can do different promotions for different customer groups? It is also used by a lot of policy makers. Let's say if Narendra Modi would like to launch certain schemes, he has like 10 schemes in mind and want to have some target districts in India to launch those schemes. Then a data scientist can cluster the Indian districts into different groups, saying, okay, this district is a high earning manufacturing district with a lot of young people. This district pretty much a retiring place, a lot of old people with this kind of challenges. So the entire Indian districts can be segmented into different groups based on education, income, healthcare, what kind of professions they do, etc. And we could do a clustering. And Modi could say, okay, launch this particular scheme here, this scheme here, this scheme here, this here, and this here. Or if Uber wants to do, Uber can say, okay, give this promo, Elite 50 here, Summer 40 here, Rainy 30 promotion here. So they can do customized discounting and promotions for different. Okay, I get a chat window from of someone who has joined from London who shares his experience saying, right from big hotel to small restaurants, he says they have also been using data analytics for a while. Because I gave an example of hotel, I was surprised. He shares his experience from London. Says that hotel industry has been using data analysis for several years now. So thanks for sharing, Prasanna, in the private chat. Okay, another being dimensionality reduction. I will not touch on this. It's fairly involved math. There is uh, a technique called principal component analysis to do project data from a high dimensional space to a low dimensional space.